I was going to work on my stand-up routine up here, but it didn't seem like it was appropriate. Maybe sing a song, but I can wait. Go ahead.
Hello? Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi, my first question is, why is your wife not on there with you talking about your dynamic? Because I love the back and forth. I'm here for it. So you should definitely speak together, because I feel like it's going to be a whole comedic display.
Yeah, we probably would have taken up the whole night, I think, if we were up here talking together. And she was concerned about us struggling for airtime, kind of thing. If she was up here, kind of fighting each other. No, it's my turn to talk. No, it's my turn to talk. No, it's my turn to talk. But yeah, we did discuss it, and it was suggested. But I guess she probably just wanted to get me out here to see if I could actually do anything useful, right?
Nice, congrats on that. My real question is, you spoke about owner versus operator, and as the talent, I want to say, how do you, I guess, detach or get rid of that itch to when you're looking to outsource your talent or your artistry and having other people do it so you can actually own and manage the owning part of it? How do you let go of that need to, I guess, supervise or control and make sure that they do the work the way that you would?
It's hard to get them to do the work exactly as you would. I dropped that after a while because they can't. You are, even though you're acting as an operator, you still are the owner. It's your thing. And that is another part of it too. But so you have to find people, like we've used writers, they're freelance writers, and you just have to find ones that are good, because normally I would do the editing part and just make sure that basically they're good enough to meet the standards that you have set for your business. You have to set core values and standards and make sure that they're within them. And you have to understand too, just because I think I'm the best doesn't mean I'm the best. There's other writers that are good too. There's so many that make a living out of it. So it's that, and it's just stop thinking about your business as your baby, because it's not. It's a business. Because another thing that we have now is an exit strategy where through this new pivot and this new business model we're doing, we have like a 2 or 3 year exit strategy to go out and then become investors and stuff and do other things in the world. So, I mean, I guess some people want to hold on to their business forever. We've had it for 10 years now, but just, not think of it as your baby. It's not yours. It belongs to the world. And if you're thinking of a business outcome, what's the best business outcome here? It's not for me. I can write everything, but we're only going to grow to a certain level because I can only handle so much. So maybe the writing would be a little bit better, but if you're going to expand and you're going to grow, you have to I think we had 20 or 30 writers at one point along the way. That help? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, whatever you have to do, meditate, psychologically detach. You just have to do that, where you just have to even release it. As a writer, when you have to send it out into the world at some point, or anybody that's an artist, whether it's music or painting or whatever, there has to come a point where you just got to send it out into the world, and that includes bringing new people in to do the thing that you're usually, or you were the first one doing, because that's what it was for me.
Hi, my name is Warda.
Oh, hello.
Right over here. I have two-part question.
Okay.
First is...
I might not be able to follow two. I'm not very smart, but go ahead.
Don't worry,
I'll
only
try.
one's for you, the rest is for her. What is your martial art?
Oh, it's called Kosharu. It's not many people have heard. It's a form of Kempo. They call it the study of natural laws. So we use an octagon, and it's a pattern of movement. It's an escaping martial art. So you would move on the octagon as a pattern of movement. It's not this. We don't really do. It's mostly pretty much 100% self-defense based. We don't do sparring. I'm sure some schools do, but we don't do. We do sparring in the class to kind of keep your reflexes up and movement and distance and timing and all that stuff. But there's no tournaments or anything like that. We do katas and stuff, but it's mostly self-defense, trying to do more realistic-based self-defense. And yeah, it's pretty obscure, actually. Koshoryu. Yeah, it was kind of derived from, there was somebody named James Matosi who came from Japan and he went to Hawaii, and it was his family's art, and he taught it, and then some American learned it, and then he taught it, and then it just kind of gets filtered down. So
Cool. And the question for you was, I know you both talked about the 3 times that you separated. What was the fundamental thing that brought you back? Or
You'd have to ask
made you
her.
stay?
Well, you were the one that, but the thing that separated us was the polarity issue, because I'm more passive. Probably can't tell from being up here, but I am more passive generally, and she's more, what do you say, assertive?
Yeah.
Yeah, more assertive. Yeah, masculine, feminine energy balance. And then in the business, when she's doing her, if our roles were reversed in the business, it might be totally different, because then I'd be the one out there, out into the world and talking to people and making deals and all that kind of stuff, and she'd be the talent, and it'd be a different dynamic. But that's probably why she split. Why'd you come back, Kara?
I'm going to try not to cry when I tell this part, but he's my soulmate. And as much as he pisses me off, but we fixed the polarity issue. I think that's the biggest thing with Dr. Joe. We did a lot of meditation, a lot of reflecting. We kind of went in our own corners and figured out what I was doing that was fucking up, which was being too masculine. I was acting like a dude and asking my husband to be my dude. And it's not possible. You have 2 men in the relationship and someone's gonna tap out. So I did a lot of work on feminine energy and learning how to not be boss babe all the fucking time. And he learned to step up and take the leadership role. Like, him talking on stage right now truly is like, I knew you would fucking crush it, and you did, by the way. But I knew this was in him. Like, I knew this was in him. And so the last year we've spent switching that polarity to be balanced. And we still struggle with it. I'm still a boss babe. I still like to get shit done. He's still kind of passive.
Just sometimes it can bleed over too, because when she's boss babe, it's having to turn the switch off. So it's challenging. I mean, similar to a mother, I guess, who's at the kids. She has to be in her masculine, taking care of those kids, and then she wants to shift right to feminine when the husband gets home, like old-fashioned wise or whatever, traditional kind of thing. And so that can be challenging, and challenging for me too, because I'm not necessarily masculine assertive when I'm writing something, or in general, I'm more passive, the more very...
But I think it's just awareness. Like, as women, and I mean, I could do a talk on this for days. I used to coach on this about masculine and feminine energy and teaching women how to balance that. Like, once you take your business hat off, leave it. If you want to have a good marriage, if you want to have a shitty marriage and separate 3 times, like, we separated. Like, we lived apart for 5 years, I think, at one point.
I don't know if that many in a row, but
3.
yeah.
But we never dated anybody, because we know. And it's just a matter of, like, when you talk about pivoting the business, we had to pivot our marriage or it wasn't going to work. Like, I moved back in with him because I stopped coaching, and I was like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I was burned out. And he's like, just come home. I got an extra room. And that's what we did. And then we started meditating and kind of going into our own space. And I was imagining a marriage like this, but not him. It was an anonymous person. I focused on how do I want to feel? I want to feel feminine. I want to feel that I can, like, drop my guard down. I want to feel like I can nurture and be vulnerable and all those things that the feminine is. And it didn't matter who it was, just that's how I wanted to feel. And he went and came to his realizations about where he needed to step up. And then we just kind of slowly, bit by bit, and here we are. And, like, I could not be more proud of this guy, period. Like,
It's because you had low expectations.
No, stop. But, does that answer your question?
I love that. That was beautiful. Very touching. So we'll do one last question, and then we'll wrap it up with...
Okay, this question is also for you. Sorry.
Here's the star now.
My question is more about considering you were handling sales and he's more the talent in the business. I imagine you had to carry a lot of burden with bringing in the opportunities to be able to drive the business. How were you able to handle that with someone who is, like he said, more talent focused and in the work and being an operator of the business and carrying that burden?
I guess I could stand up. That's a good question. And I resented the shit out of him a lot, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's part of the reason why we had those 3 timeouts, probably.
Time out. But yeah, I resented it, and in the beginning, so I'm not going to get into it, but my childhood was very, like, I was in a group home at 15, my parents were alcoholics. I had to make money. I had to do shit. And so I come from that. He comes from, like, more calm environment. So that's just, I attracted a feminine energy guy as a masculine energy woman. So I didn't really, I eventually got to the point where, like, well, what the fuck do you do around here? Like, really, you're a writer, cool, but now we have 30 other writers. Big deal. I'm still out here hustling. And so, like the ladies were talking about uncomfortable we have uncomfortable conversations daily in our house. And if I start to feel like now we're ramping up, we're doing trade shows again, like that all was quiet for a long time. And I'm dragging his ass with me this time. He's not allowed to come, right? Like he has to come.
Well, there's part of me opening up too and allowing
100%.
and not trying to stay back or anything or finding reasons. Like I said to you for tonight, I can't. There's no reason I can't do it. I can't think of an excuse that's viable for me to not go and do this thing. So I have to. So it's just about being open and saying, not resisting anymore. Just saying, okay, here we're gonna go. Let's go.
So now together we're a sales team. But I did resent him, but I don't anymore. Does that answer your question?
It's gonna be a great ride home now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Kara. That was just hilarious and amazing. I loved every moment of that talk.